Hi, this is David Saxon from Heap, and I'm joined here today by Ryan Koonce, the CEO of Attribution App. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first off, Ryan, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about Attribution App and the company. Give us some background and history. Love to learn a little bit more, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers would love to learn that as well.
Yeah, Attribution is a great company. I got involved with it about 3.5 years ago. And so it was a great little app that had a couple interesting integrations and solved a really, really big problem for companies around multi-touch attribution. And so I got involved and became the CEO and really tried to take the company to a place where, out of the box, you could use it and get value from it very quickly. And so it, for example, one of the things that it had integrations with originally was Facebook and AdWords. We've added, lots and lots of integrations on the ad side since then, including LinkedIn, Twitter, Bing, Outbrain, AdRoll, FriendBuy, Quora, and we're adding new integrations on the ad side all the time. On the conversion side, we've also added lots of integrations, and we've created the ability to pull data into Attribution App and model it in a variety of ways. And that's one of the reasons we're so excited about this Heap integration, because it makes it super, super easy for marketers to take advantage of that data layer and do multi-touch attribution in a way that they've never seen before.
Yeah, that's great. And I think one of the things that excited us the most about, and I'd love you to talk a little bit more about the unique value that you guys have, is like really, it's like the dollar spent is going to be the dollar measured. There's no kind of inflation or overinflation of trying to kind of match up kind of like, hey, what's the, who are we giving this credit to, right? And so I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that and kind of how your approach is on that.
Well, that's right. And so the big problem in attribution today is typically that if you're using one of the native ad platforms, you're going to see some number of conversions, and those conversions are reported via Pixel or some other mechanism by those platforms. And the platforms are doing as well as they can. They don't have all the data. Google doesn't see Facebook data, Facebook doesn't see Google data, and then you add in that full factorial of other ad platforms, and it's really, really, really hard to create a customer journey that allocates credit across those platforms properly. And so that was the big challenge that we set out to solve, was how do you take a conversion and allocate it in 100% fidelity way, to each of those ad platforms, right? So it can be 100% to first touch, it can be 100% to last touch, it can be a linear model where we're giving equal credit to every touch. But in the end, the number of conversions that you have in our system needs to match the number of the conversions that you had in your database on a one-to-one basis.
Right.
And so this is really the first time that you can take any number of conversions and actually map any model you want on top of them, where the number of conversions you have adds up. Because if you add up all the conversions that are being reported in all the ad platforms, they're always going to be greater than what you have in your database.
That's what we love, the kind of like the clarity in the data and the transparency in the data, and just really having that kind of like the truth of the information out there that you're reporting on. So we're excited to announce and kind of like this partnership and with you guys. We have become kind of an official kind of like bundled solution and offering. And one of the reasons that this is very exciting to us is that, Heap focuses really kind of like really on the product manager and kind of giving them information and clarity and understanding of how people are interacting with the application, and really feeding that back of kind of doing that. And you look at kind of like marrying kind of the product teams with the marketing teams. That's what I kind of feel like that we have done together, is really giving clarity from the marketing people to the product people. But I'd love to kind of get your spin on this and your perception, because you articulated very well of how that all works together, right?
Right. Well, you have Heap data today, or you should have Heap data today.
Right.
And the product team's using that, and that's instrumented. And so now you have a identity-based system for seeing what people are doing in your product. Mm-hmm. Without any additional work, you can now have in the marketing team multi-touch attribution on top of that product data. And so where product teams typically get involved is after the user signs up and they're trying to retain the user, right? And they're looking at lifetime value from that point forward. The marketing team is responsible for actually getting the user in the funnel, getting the free trial start, right? And then also optimizing those campaigns that got the user there and into those conversion metrics. And so the big win here is that now the marketing team and the product team can use the same data set, and they can add elements to the customer journey that allow you to get to not only lifetime value on a revenue basis, but also taking the cost from all of your ad platforms and baking that cost into, at a customer level, right? the cost of acquisition and the revenue generated by that person. And again, that's sort of never been done before, and it makes it really, really easy to do with Heap. I mean, we can stand up our system on top of Heap like today.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it. I mean, to get Heap deployed and get it collecting the data, and then the integration is pretty seamless. I mean, if everything kind of adds up and everything, you have all the right resources, you could actually have this set up and running within a day. And within a couple of days, kind of really start to get insights and access to that data set and take action on it.
That's right, and the thing that we have that allows you to take advantage of that data in a way that's better than anything else that exists is that you can layer any model you want on top of the data through our system, right? And so we have lots of settings for SaaS. We have lots of settings for e-commerce that make it easier for those managers, to do things that they were trying to do in Excel that were impossible, right? And so if you have the Heap infrastructure in place, layering attribution on top of it becomes a natural fit for the marketing team.
And learning more about this, you can definitely reach out to the partner team at partners@heap.io. Any additional information, there's going to be more information that we're going to share out with the community out there and kind of be going to market, but really appreciate your partnership and happy to be working with you.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.